Happy August, everyone. So I am going to ask Ozenan to give us a forecast for the month of August today. And I just want to mention that on August 6th at 11 a.m., I am hosting a group channeling event with Ozenan. So this will be a small group live event over Zoom where you will receive a transmission from Ozenan that is tailored specifically to the energies of everyone in the group. And you will have the chance to ask Ozenan at least one question, possibly more. These can be very personal questions or they can be very big picture questions. All questions are allowed. So if you're interested in that, head to the description box below and there's a link to register. All right, I'm going to bring Ozenan through and see what's up for August. I'm looking forward to this one myself. Okay. This feels high energy, folks. There's a buzziness to this one. It's interesting. Yes, we are here and we are pleased to speak with you today. And yes, as the channel has pointed out, August will be a highly energetic month. There is change in the air. And we would like to point out that change has been in the air for all of your 2024. And for those of you who feel a little fear or exhaustion at the word change at this point, we would like to encourage you to understand that following your year of 2024, there will still be much acceleration and much shifting in your reality. And it will be much more manageable for you. You are learning in this year of 2024 how to roll with the change, as you may say, how to move with the waves of change, how to surf them, how to balance on them. You are learning that when you are knocked off of your balance by change, it is possible to become recentered. And all of you viewing this video are beginning to, and some of you in a very advanced way, are learning tools that will assist you with your changing reality. For one of the things that 2024 is teaching all of humanity is how to find an anchor within yourself. This is a key lesson as consciousness expands. Many humans are very excited about the expansion of consciousness, which makes sense. Consciousness expanding is beautiful and it is quite exciting. And the expansion of consciousness also requires every individual to sink into their own personal power, their own personal universe in a way that they never have before. For your world has not required it in the way that it does now. And so, this year of 2024, one of the great themes and lessons is learning to anchor into your own power, learning to offer yourself love, support, learning to be in integrity with yourself above all else. And this month of August in 2024 will once again deliver you changes and lessons that will allow you to sink deeply into yourself. And we would encourage a simple practice for this that you may wish to engage in throughout the month. When you find that your external world, your external environment is challenging, overwhelming, we would encourage you to consciously take time to connect with yourself. This will often mean removing yourself from the external environment in some way. Perhaps you enter a bathroom and take a long bath, spending time with yourself, anchoring back into yourself. Perhaps you enter into a meditation. This is a very powerful way to return to yourself. And to be clear, when we talk about a meditation, there are many, 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 many forms of meditation. Our definition of meditation is simply being present with oneself and with one's inner world. And so, in order to do this, there are guided meditations, as many of you know, that you can listen to. You may also wish to simply sit or lay down in a comfortable place, close your eyes, and breathe, focusing on your breathing. It is not a problem if other thoughts enter into your mind during this meditation. Simply return back to your breathing when those thoughts enter. You may also wish to incorporate frequencies of sound that will assist you in coming back to yourself and the present moment. Sounds like particular sound bowls at particular frequencies. And we would like to be clear that different frequencies do provide different healing benefits. And we would encourage you to play around with different frequencies of sound, whether that is healing frequency music, which you can access on your music services, or perhaps the tones of a sound bowl or another sound instrument. But we would encourage you to play around with which frequencies actually feel best in your body, not necessarily worry too much about which frequencies mean what, which frequencies heal what. And this is especially true if you are only beginning to work with sound. We would encourage you to play with different frequencies, to listen and experience them, and see which frequencies truly bring you peace and bring you back to yourself. So, back to the practice that we are recommending, you may wish to listen to a certain frequency of music, close your eyes, return to yourself. Another possibility would be walking into a natural place that you truly appreciate, and rather than closing your eyes, sitting or laying or standing quietly while experiencing this natural place and the life around you in the natural world. These are all ways that you can return to your anchor within yourself. And one more method that we would like to mention that we have mentioned in other transmissions through this channel is the method of dropping into your heart space. So, literally envisioning a space that is cozy and comfortable and beautiful that you consider your heart space, dropping in to that space and sitting with yourself in that space. This is a beautiful way to connect with yourself and to anchor in to yourself and to this present moment. Being your own anchor in these times is the most powerful way to navigate the mass external shifts. We would also like to remind you that the external shifts that you are experiencing are a reflection of your internal world. We know that you have heard this relayed many times in many different ways in a variety of spiritual circles. Many of you, in fact, everyone viewing this transmission, has heard this in one way or another before. And we would like to point out that this is one of the deepest truths of your 3D reality, that the external is reflecting your internal experience. And we do not share this because we wish for you to feel shame or stress that the external experience is mm, scary or painful or difficult. And therefore, that means your internal world is scary or difficult or painful. This is not what we are trying to get across here. And in fact, your internal world is very rich with many, many different emotions, many different experiences, and it always will be, much like your external world is rich with many experiences. What we would like to point out to you is that where you focus your attention is very, very important. It is mm, a reflection of where you are focusing your attention internally. And so, when you look out into your external world and you realize that there is much chaos and much difficulty, this is a powerful moment to return to your internal world and consciously focus your internal world towards calm, towards neutrality, towards peace. And we recommend that you point your internal compass towards neutrality and peace because If you point your internal compass simply towards happiness or excitement, inevitably in your 3D reality, you will then have to balance that out with an experience of challenge, with an experience of mm, more difficult emotions, shall we say. And there is nothing wrong with this. To be clear, there is nothing wrong with choosing to experience the highs and lows, and all of you will at some points in your life. And we would also encourage you to be aware of the nature of the balance of this 3D reality and shoot for neutrality and peace when you are feeling overwhelmed by your external reality. Instead, bring yourself internally into calm to help bring your external reality into calm. Now, we know that the idea that your external reality is shaped by your internal world is a challenging one. And we do understand that this is very different from the way that many of you view your 3D existence. We would like to bring you back to one of the basic foundations of your reality. The multiverse is a word that you have used for it. It's not the exact perfect word, but there is not the exact perfect word in your language to describe this multiverse. So we will use it. And many of you have heard of this word, and so we will use it. The multiverse is an immense, infinite, which is another word that is very difficult for the human brain to wrap itself around. But the multiverse is made up of an infinite number of timelines, an infinite number of versions of your planet, of Earth, an infinite number of versions of you experiencing your life. There are an infinite number of each of you, dear ones, an infinite number. We do not require that you wrap your head around that, for it is overwhelming and actually not possible for the human mind to fully comprehend that infinite nature of reality. And we would just like to point out to you that every moment, your soul, we could use the word soul, your energy, your yourself, your true self, these are all words that you could use, although we ask that you do not become attached to any one word around this. But at every moment, your soul, your energy, it is focusing its intention into a version of your reality, a version of you in reality. So at this moment, it is focused into this version of you that is experiencing this transmission in this video. In the next moment, it will be focused into a different version of you. And the version of you that your soul focuses into is determined by your overall frequency, the frequency that you are at this moment in this lifetime. And that shifts all the time, as it should. And we would like to remind you, as within, so without. So as you find a calm neutrality in your internal world, you will find that your soul focuses its attention into a version of you on a version of Earth that is calm, that is quite neutral and peaceful. This is something that we would like to give an example of. Have you ever noticed the cascading effect of a difficult day? Perhaps you wake up and you have a difficult experience first thing in the morning, and it puts you into a tricky mood. And then you find that another difficult experience occurs, and another, and another. We would encourage you, when you find yourself in this cascading effect of challenging energy, to take a break, sit with yourself, come back to your anchor, return to neutrality. And there are many methods you can use for this. We highly encourage nervous system regulation tools. We highly encourage whatever works for you to return back to your center. There are many, many tools available for this in your world. Bring yourself back to your center. And to be clear, this does not mean that you can control the reality in the sense that challenging events will never happen to you. That is not how human life is meant to happen. You are not meant to come here and never experience challenges. In fact, you came here with the intention of experiencing challenge in order to expand. So we do not mean to imply that this can be done perfectly, that this can be done in such a way that you never experience tough times or challenges. We simply would like to offer you this model of reality so that you realize that there is an aspect of your reality that you do have control over. When you find yourself in chaotic or challenging external experiences, we will once again relay the power of coming back to your internal anchor, finding calm, finding peace within yourself in whatever way works for you, and then returning to your external reality from a more calm and peaceful energy. This is a complicated topic. We have spoken of it many times. We speak about it frequently in private transmissions with the channel, and we will continue to speak about it. But for the month of August, this practice and this explanation of the mechanics of reality will benefit all of you greatly, which is why we bring it to this August forecast. Now, returning to your month of August, we would also like to encourage all of you to spend at least some time with your natural world in whatever season it is where you are. We say this because we know that there are humans viewing this transmission from the southern and northern hemispheres of your planet, and their experience of nature at this time of year will be very, very different. Those of you in the northern hemisphere are deep into your summer season. And of course, this is a season of blooming, of blossoming, of sunlight, of much natural beauty, we could say. In the southern hemisphere, you are experiencing winter. You are experiencing a time of going within, of looking at the more shadowy parts of life. And the nature that you are in is colder, it is a little less sunny. And so we would encourage you to look at the season that your natural world is in, wherever you are, and to lean into that season. So if you are in summertime, spend time, spend more time allowing yourself to bloom, allowing yourself to perhaps try new things, allowing yourself to put yourself out there, as you may say. If you are in winter, we would encourage you to spend more time going within, to spend some time in quiet aloneness, to spend time in nature, but noticing the nature around you has gone within. It is going to seed. And this is a beautiful time for those of you in winter to also go to seed. This is an excellent practice all of the time. And in this month of August, once again, this practice will highly benefit many of you because you are so deep into a specific season, depending on what area of the earth you find yourself in. Many of you are also in a season of life, we could say. Many of you have noticed that you are in a new cycle recently. And this will resonate with many, many of you viewing this transmission. You are in a new cycle of life, and this new cycle of life is, on the one hand, exciting, and on the other hand, quite overwhelming at times. This is normal because as you move into a new cycle, you are also unfamiliar with this new territory. And many of you are grieving the ending of the past cycle. We would encourage you to allow that grieving to occur. We would encourage you to sit with the part of you that is sad about ending this past cycle, even if there are many parts of you that are excited for the new cycle. This month of August will be a closing of a chapter. It will be a final closing of a chapter for many of you. So for many of you who are feeling this shift in cycles, you will experience a true closing this month. And for many of you, that will be a relief. And for many of you, there will be challenges associated with that. Do not fear these challenges. We have given you powerful practices that will allow you to move through them. You are, all of you, strong enough to grieve, to end, and to begin. And we would like to remind you of this, as this is very true for every human viewing this transmission. And finally, we would like to encourage all of you to remember to ask your communities for help, whether that is asking specific humans, whether that is asking a group, whether that is turning to transmissions like these for assistance. Do not hesitate to ask for help and to lean into your communal nature this month as you move through the changes that come up. We would also, finally, like to point out that many of you will experience great celebration this month. There will be revelry, there will be excitement, there will be celebration for many of you viewing this transmission. And we would encourage you to lean into this when it occurs for you, when it comes up for you. There is great beauty in the physical 3D experience of revelry and celebration. And we would encourage all of you to lean into that and to appreciate that when it occurs. For all of you are here in this 3D reality in order to experience the physical joy of being in human form. And this month will offer you an opportunity to sink in to that joy of being in the physical form more deeply than you usually do. We will end here, and we wish you all a beautiful August of 2024. With love, we thank you. Okay. Woo. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to connect with Ozenan in either the group channeling event or in a one-on-one session, you can go to the description box below. If you're enjoying these videos, please like them. Please subscribe to the channel. That helps other people find them. So thank you and happy August, everyone.